Dr. Sam here, and this time I have for you the 4 types of people pleasing. So people pleasing, it's this word that I hear all the time. It's something I'm really interested in, and I think it's the sort of word that takes on the characteristics of the person who's using it. In most cases, no, in many cases, I think people are not talking about the same thing, and we have no idea that we're talking past each other. This is a very human thing to think whatever I experience as people pleasing must be the same thing that you experience as people pleasing. But in fact, I think much of the time we're talking about really significantly different experiences. So as a clinical psychologist, I'm going to help us define our terms today so that we can think about what are the 4 different types of people pleasing and how we might think about them clinically or personally, because they really are completely different with only really superficial resemblances. So number 1, people pleasers who are brown nosers, kiss asses, maybe even a little bit Machiavellian. These are individuals who are nice to people so that they can get something in return. These are strategic, deliberate people pleasers. They are seen as dishonest, as conniving, or maybe just strategic if you want to put it in a more positive light. And I think these individuals, when people are talking about people pleasing, are the ones that others are most suspicious of. Why are you being so nice to me? Or why are you being so nice to this other person? What is it? What is in it for you? Now, I suspect that people who are this first type of people pleaser also imagine that anyone else who is engaging in people pleasing must be doing so for exactly the same reason. But as we'll soon see, that's unlikely the case, as there are many other reasons that people might engage in people pleasing. The most telling feature of this first type, I'm going to call it the brown noser or the strategic people pleaser, is that they do not generalize this behavior across different settings. In fact, they only seem to please, they only seem to act nice or generous towards the people for whom they expect to get something or with whom they expect to get something in return. They can be just as cruel or dismissive of other people when they have nothing to give them. So in this case, the people pleasing is very narrow in focus, very strategic, very deliberate. We're going to call that type 1. Type 2, these individuals have a deep craving to be liked by other people. They need to feel important in the eyes of others. They have something akin to like a dependency on that feeling of others giving them reciprocal affirmation. This is the mutual admiration society, or perhaps it's the individual who's really nice to others so that they stay dependent on them or so that they feel important in their lives. That, of course, could apply in the first case as well, but for these individuals, there's a sense of, I don't have complete control over this, that it is kind of consuming and I chase it because I need to feel good. I need to feel the pleasure of being liked. I need to be needed. I need to be appreciated. I need to be well liked by other people. I made another video about a specific type of this type 2 people pleaser, and that is the codependent, the individual who keeps other people needing them, wanting them in order to feel important. And just like the name suggests, these individuals do seem to have characteristics much like people with a dependency, with an addiction. They crave it. They need more and more of it. They feel withdrawal if they don't get that feeling that they want. And just like these other types of people pleasers, I think when these individuals talk about I'm a people pleaser, they really imagine that other people have that same insatiable desire to be liked, and that is the driving force. It's this high. You want the high just as much as I do? Well, maybe or maybe not. Maybe it's like type 1 and they want something else and they're being nice just to get it. Or maybe in fact people are just like you and they crave the high of being liked. Or perhaps it's more like type 3. Type 3 is our socially anxious people pleaser. This is the individual who's afraid of being judged. They're not seeking pleasure. Pleasure really has no part in really type 3 or type 4. But in this case, it's based out of a fear of being judged. So I'm going to be nice to other people so they're not mean back to me. The underlying feeling here, relief. These individuals, rather than seeking out other people to please, actually probably spend most of their time avoiding other people. But when they do face another person that they have to interact with as a safety behavior, as a way of preventing harm to themselves, they'll be nice just to avoid conflict. These individuals tend to present as conflict averse and lacking in confidence. And by confidence here, what we really mean is the ability to go out there in the world without the fear of being drawn down by the pain of social rejection. I've made another video about this one too, when it's not social anxiety, if you want to go into more depth about that. Which brings us to our last type of people pleaser, the fourth type of people pleaser, and these are individuals who I call those with emotional injury OCD. In this case, these are individuals who have an intense, persistent, intrusive, unwanted fear of causing some kind of emotional injury to other people. That is, they feel that by their actions, they will make other people deeply hurt in a long and meaningful, lasting sort of hurting way, such that they themselves are responsible for harming them, that they have done something of great meaning, something catastrophic, terrible to this other person, even if it's something as small as, not returning their phone call quickly enough or not being attentive enough to them. They feel that there's something deeply in their responsibility to care for these people's feelings, or else other people's feelings will completely crumble away. In this case, it's also fear-based, but rather than in social anxiety people-pleasing where you're afraid of being judged, in this case, the fear is that other people will be judged. So I will preventatively, prophylactically do nice things to them. I will please them so that I feel assured that I didn't do anything to hurt their sense of self, to hurt their sense of worth. I'm ensuring that I didn't do damage to them. So there you have it. We have 4 types. Each type pretty different from the other, and from a clinical perspective, you would want to treat them completely differently. I think we need to move past the term people pleaser. It's become too broad, and I'm pretty sure that when people are describing it to one another, that in fact they're talking about, at the very least, 4 completely different personality types. The only superficial similarity is that these are individuals doing nice things for others, but the ways in which they're problematic, those differ in very, very significant ways. So I hope this opens up a conversation for you to have with those around you to figure out what kind of people pleaser they are, what kind of people pleaser you are. That is, if you consider yourself in this broad category at all. And I hope it gets you interested in some of these other questions, perhaps about emotional injury OCD, codependency, social anxiety. There's a lot of related topics, and I'll keep posting on these, creating more and new content for you. So please engage below, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll include information about how to get involved with me if you want to learn more, get involved in my clinical work, my training down below so you can stay informed. All right, that's it for now. Until next time, take care. Thanks.